What's up guys, it's Asian Power. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 guns in Apex Legends. I got my notes here, we're ready to dive into this video. If you guys enjoy, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you guys are brand new, want more Apex content and videos like this. Definitely do that for me, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support already, I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. And let's jump into the list, let's go. Alright, so this list is completely subjective. Okay, let's just go ahead and put that out there. How I came up with this list is a combination of the most popular, as far as like most used, and the strongest weapons. Feel free to disagree, but if you do, please let me know down in the comment section below why you do. Again, this is my list. This is 100% my opinion, and it's completely subjective. Again, this is my thoughts. This is my feelings on the matter. This is based off my own experiences and time playing the game. This is just an observation of the things that I want to share with you guys. If you want to know my list of my personal favorite guns that I like to use in Apex Legends, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll make it happen for you guys. All right, first off, again, this is the combination of most used and the strongest weapons. So we're going to start with some honorable mentions, and this is specifically only because of the most used part. The honorable mentions are the Wingman. Why is the Wingman on here? Is because it's not used as often as the other ones on this list, mainly because the skill gap is a lot higher. Like, you have to have really good aim and really good concentration, strafe movement. That has to be key if you're going to be using the Wingman. A lot of people are kind of afraid of that. They go more towards the automatic guns, so they'll kind of stay away from the Wingman because the skill gap's a little higher. That's why it's in the honorable mentions and not on the top list. It definitely is one of the strongest weapons, but it doesn't make the list because it's not that used across the entire community. Next up on the honorable mention is the Prowler. Again, this Prowler is pretty much a beast. It's up there with the R99 as far as the best SMG in the game. The reason why it's an honorable mention is simply because people are so dependent on the hop-up, the select fire receiver, to make it fully automatic, which is completely okay. Once this thing turns into a fully automatic gun, it's a machine. It will just tear through everybody. That's damage is a really good spot right now, and it will really melt you if you're not careful. But people only like to use that if they have the receiver. If they don't, sometimes it can be hard to come across, so they won't want to spend an entire game looking for it and wasting time holding a gun that they don't feel comfortable with when they'd rather, pick up a different gun. So that's the only reason why it's on the honorable mention, is because of the select fire receiver. To me, the Prowler is still a really good gun. In the burst mode, I really like it, but there's a lot of people who will stray away from it, mainly because of the hop-up. Next up on the honorable mention is the Hemlock. Again, not very many people use it because people don't like to use a burst gun. Or, better yet, they don't like the single fire as well. Me, personally, I love the single fire Hemlock. It absolutely destroys. It feels so good to get those headshots. But again, people would rather go for an automatic weapon than a semi-automatic weapon or even a burst. The reason why people like automatic weapons is because it's more forgiving. And what I mean by that is that when you're shooting an enemy and you're missing shots, it's a lot easier to get back on target and hit shots with an automatic gun, because you can just hold the trigger and just aim. With the burst or semi-automatic, you have to do both. You have to aim and shoot at the exact same time to hit your targets. So that's why a lot of people will stay away from those kind of guns, because it's a little bit harder to use and less forgiving. So those are my 3 honorable mentions on the list. Now let's hop into the actual list. Once again, this is my opinion. Feel free to disagree, but don't be just super negative and critiquey. Let me know why you think that down in the comment section below. Alright, number 5 is the Peacekeeper. The most popular, most used secondary weapon in the game. I say this because there's another gun on the list that actually most people use as their primary, but we'll get into that in just a bit. The Peacekeeper hits super hard, but the thing is, you have to be able to hit those shots. More people will actually use the Peacekeeper because it's a secondary weapon. They can blast away with their main weapon, switch over to the Peacekeeper, and just one pump somebody that they've already laid a ton of bullets in. That's why it's so popular and it hits so hard. People really like to use it. Throw a choke on there and you're going to extend the range on this gun a lot. So that's why number 5 is the Peacekeeper. Number 4 is the infamous R99. It's at number 4 because a lot of people don't use it as a primary weapon, meaning they use all of their bullets in their 99, switch over to a different gun, and use that as a cleanup. They're not using the R99 as the main focal point of their offense. They use it usually as a secondary, like the Peacekeeper. So that's why it's a little bit lower on the list, only because sometimes it's not a primary, sometimes it's not a secondary. It can be used as both. But everybody knows why the R99 is so strong, because it shoots super, super fast. And if you're accurate, you're going to be melting people faster than any other gun in the game. And again, not a lot of people will use this because they aren't as accurate. The lower skill players will try to stay away from the R99 because of the crazy recoil, and they're not able to control it as much. Number 3 on the list is the Flatline. The Flatline got a buff here a couple months ago, and that turned this thing into a machine. The recoil is still up there. It's a little bit harder to control, but it smacks when it hits. That's why it's so popular, because people are able to spray and just knock down enemies super, super fast and take out those enemies. And with the Envo receiver, they could actually use this as a long-range weapon and be able to get some damage and some ticks on enemies who are a little bit further out. Number 2 on the list is the Havoc. Yes, the Havoc. Who knew taking away the turbocharger would actually make this gun one of the best assault rifles in the game right now? Absolutely insane. But definitely, the Havoc is one of the best guns in the game. You'll see it all the time. And whenever you hear a Havoc start charging up and shooting at you, you know that you better either dodge those bullets or drop your enemy super fast, because this thing will melt. Another really big thing about the Havoc is that its hipfire accuracy is actually really, really good. If I'm in a tight corner or in a building next to somebody, I will just hipfire it and nail them every single time, melt them so fast. Havoc, number 2 on the list. And number 1, the R301. I bet you could have seen it coming. The R301 is the best, hands down, gun in the game. Again, because it's most used and it is very, very strong. It's strong because it's a freaking laser, which is absolutely kind of weird, because in Season 3, I felt like everybody kind of strayed away from the R301. Whatever reason, they felt like it was a little bit less accurate, which it was, because they did hit it with a nerf. But now Season 4 coming around, everybody and their mother is using the R301 because it's now a laser machine. I don't know if they changed it a little bit, but a lot of people are using it and realizing back in Season 1, Season 2, the R301 once again is the top of the list as the most powerful weapon, because it can laser people short range, medium range, long range. Choose your range, and the R301 will be able to take care of it for you. Guys, that's going to be my list for today. What do you think about it? Do you agree with it? 1 through 5, would you make any changes? Would you put any of the honorable mentions in there instead? Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.